If you want to be a published author, a little professionalism goes a long way. So, bookshelves are packed with volumes about how to properly submit your manuscript, but how does professionalism function in real world publishing relationships? Moreover, what defines professionalism from culture to culture? Agents and editors share their best examples of what works best and how to get back on track if your interactions go off the rails. Welcome back to Morgan's video blog with writing tips from the pros and, of course, my own writerly musings. Today, I'm here with publishing as collaboration. The titular panel at WorldCon 80, otherwise known as ShyCon 8, had moderator Holly Lyn Walrath with panelists Emily Hockaday, Joey Yu, and Joshua Bilmes. The panel description was as I said. So let's start off with, what does good professionalism even look like? Well, first, it starts with attitude, respecting the industry. Next, it's valuing your own writing. Treat it like a job and seek out paying opportunities. It involves treating people at conferences or in queries and emails like you would a coworker you respect. It involves being polite. Use official communication methods, typically email or sometimes the phone, any listed public contact. It involves replying to email promptly, which is within a few days, not 2 minutes later. And the slush pile does not count. Those are unsolicited manuscripts or short stories, and they get gotten to when they get gotten to. And finally, professionalism looks like patience. There is very little in publishing that actually requires a super fast turnaround. It's not actually a matter of life and death, except maybe magazine publication day. So, that said, what does bad professionalism look like? Well, bad professionalism can look like DMing agents or publishers that you have no contact with on their personal accounts at 2 a.m., demanding they reply to you. Bad professionalism looks like not watching how much you drink at industry events. Yes, even conventions while you're hanging out with your friends. It can be heated social media exchanges. Note, being outspoken for causes you believe in is very different than personal attacks and bad behavior. And bad professionalism is forgetting that email, etc., doesn't convey tone. Sometimes, if you're too focused, you can reply to the question that's asked and forget the context. Remember that we all have a lot going on in our lives. So, we've talked about the good and the bad. Let's talk about the realities of professionalism. First off, in some sections of the publishing industry, especially overseas, can run on relationships, on who you know. In some spaces, only referred writers get published. Meanwhile, in most American spaces, if you don't come in through the submission tracker, your writing is going to get lost. Ask around and find out what the norm is in the market you're looking to get published in. Next reality of professionalism: when you need to vent, you will build a private circle of trusted friends and colleagues to vent to. Don't blast on social media, or you can get a reputation. As always, this does not mean not calling out inappropriate treatment, just the inherent stressors of the rejection, critique, publicity needs of the industry. And another reality of the profession: the agent gets to be the bad guy for the writers they represent. They push and try to get the most concessions out of the publishers, leaving the writer to publisher relationship clear of those stressors. As Joshua Bilmes said, if he never goes so far that he needs to apologize to a publisher, then he's not doing his job. So let's talk about agents. How do you maintain a relationship between an agent and a writer? Well, as a writer, you want to let them know when you have a new manuscript, when you have a new story. You want to reach out and check in with them, both professionally and as you build a relationship with them as a person. You want to keep them up to date. Give them a heads up before you're late with the edits, not 2 days later. Uh, Another thing is a lot of people buy their agents and those they worked closely with gifts on publication day. In some cultures, it might be just a card or flowers or candy or something. In other cultures, it might be an iPad or a smartphone so they can be more productive on your behalf. Ask around what the expectation is at your level in your market. And do note that agents often send overseas authors more author copies because book delivery can just be hard overseas, especially depending on different nations. So, what is your agent doing for you? What can you expect your agent to negotiate? Well, contracts have been growing longer. You can expect them to cover eventualities such as rights and money if the manuscript never gets published, like the publisher doesn't like the final draft. Some ask for the publisher to sign off on the final draft within 60 days. But Joshua Bilmes says he has never called the publisher out on that because it just wasn't worth the lost money and bad blood to walk away at that point. That said, publishers will not commit to marketing on a contract. You can't get those dollars on a contract, unfortunately. So, what can you ask for? You can ask how many review copies you'll get. You can ask which contests they're willing to enter your book into. Many require the publisher to do the submissions, and there's a different market if you're a debut novelist. If they're not submitting for you, find out which forms and shipping, etc., they'll need you to fill out, and talk about what sorts of social media ads you might have out there. Well, obviously, marketing dollars will determine the scope. Um, they can be money well spent. Amazon ad dollars can get you up in the algorithms, but of course, results will vary. So, next up, we asked the panelists what did they think about the antitrust case regarding Penguin Random House and Simon and Schuster? Well, there were three main thoughts. First, publishing is a gamble. Obviously, money can help a lot, but it cannot guarantee success. Secondly, there is nothing about their backlist that is quote unquote just money at the big companies. It requires work and distribution, etc. And thirdly, there seems to be a feeling that small press will come in and save the day and fill in the gap between traditional and indie. But readers aren't actually putting their money where their mouths are on that one. So if you want small publisher to fill in the gap, buy more books from small publishers. So finally, we asked the panelists, who makes the best clients? Writers who do the work, who understand the industry, whose personalities don't make them a challenge to work with, who invest the time, who have a willingness to accept edits and critique. And, when the publisher and or agent and the writer like each other as people. Because remember, at the heart of it all, agents and publishers are in this to see writers succeed. Are there any do's or don'ts that I missed? Any industry standards or market specifics that you'd like to let me know about? Please tell me about it in the comments below. And I'll be back again next week with more writing tips and writerly musings. Bye bye.